Hence why you kept it for so long. Trying to take interest and swept away, that's the truth. And my brain don't know what to say. Something about you, boy, you're so young, my brain, yes you do. Something about you, boy, you're so young, my brain, yes you do. So young, my brain, yes you do. What I did to you was wrong. Hence why I've kept it for this long. Secrets have been brewed up the store. Did not expect it to transform. Sucked up in my brain for another day. These things I'm trying to say, entrenched and turned away, that's the truth. Sucked up in my brain, don't know what to say. Something about you, boy, you suck up my brain, yes you do. I know what I did to you was wrong. I know what I did to you was wrong. I know what I did to you was wrong. I know what I did to you was wrong.
You're listening to a band called Swerve City, a very exciting new rock band from Auckland featuring members from Fire at Will, Array, Somatics, and Saints Taboo. That was their very cool cover of Benet Soaked. I actually like what you're doing with your covers every now and then, JP, because you kind of remind me of, have you heard of the band Postmodern Jukebox? Where they just...
No, I haven't.
Check them out. They do like jazz standards of pop songs. It's amazing. But
Nice.
Nice. You've taken these really obscure pop songs and turned them into rock, and it's just really, like the other one you did is No Diggity. It's just really unexpected, right? So I don't know. Maybe there's going to be more unexpected covers in the future.
Yeah, man. I mean, my philosophy on covers now is you want to try and ride the wave as well as do a cool cover, right? So I'm sort of, I think rather than trying to think of a cool song to cover, I'm going to like block out a 2-week time period and just sort of see what drops in that time period, what's sort of doing well, and then see if we can turn that into something cool, you know?
Yeah, and you do turn it to something cool because you kind of reimagine it completely as well. Into the into your own vibe, and I really like that. I was watching a movie a long time ago, and there was a really cool scene where they had someone from the future come back in the past, and the person from the future is trying to prove that they're from the future, and then they're like, "Well, if you're from the future, tell us sing us a hit that's in your time, right?" And then they started singing like a Smashing Pumpkins song, or something like that. You know, like one of those weird, like established songs already. And and it was, and they're like, come on, like this song's been heard. And like, well, it was famous in my time. And, so it's really cool. Like, and sometimes, you can dig up these old songs that people might not have heard of, or is really obscure, or whatever, or maybe it is well known, but you kind of reimagine it to a new audience, right? So, you play? I mean, obviously, I love your originals, and I don't want to talk about covers too much. But when you do drop a cover live, how does it all go? Do people go, "Where am I?" Or
Well, philosophically, live, I feel like it's a different cover kind of like problem to solve. Like, I feel like when I'm watching a band live and they drop a cover, usually what I want to hear is like a banger, but from the same kind of genre. Like, if I'm watching a cool back, that's because that's what we cover. But for instance, like if I'm watching a really cool band, and then they drop this huge track from like, my childhood, I go nuts. And so I think that's kind of how I like to think about covers in a band context. Whereas usually, like when we're trying to produce something, it's usually to create that interest of how can we take this, this existing idea that's in this pop, I guess mold, and take that and put it into rock. But
Yeah.
Live, I feel like it's just an opportunity to try and connect with some people and try and give them something to make them happy. And so usually that's my philosophy.
Strategically, it definitely works too. I remember I used to actually be signed with a label, and they mentioned that they wanted me to cover a cover, but like turn it into my own style, and that was going to kind of introduce my music to an audience kind of thing. And a perfect example of that is actually the very first Muse song that I ever heard was their cover "Feeling Good," and that it completely, it's a jazz standard, but then it completely opened me up to their catalog. I thought they wrote it. I was like, this is a really good original, but little did I know.
What a great way to highlight the talent of that band as well, right?
I love Muse, and oh my goodness, dude, the new albums, right? It gets heavier, like they've gone, I don't know, like with their riffs and stuff, like it's really cool what they're doing. Speaking of favorite bands, what's one to highlight for you? What's a highlight for you? Who should we check out both internationally and locally?
My favorite at the moment, I'm just trying to think. Oh, I Prevail. I'm smashing their new record. I can't give you just one though, because actually it kind of links back to Crooked Royals. But actually, my favorite all-time kind of metal band is Periphery, and Crooked Royals, those lucky sons of guns, are actually signed to 3 Dot Recordings, which is Periphery's label. And like it was just like it's so amazing that that they're that one step away from me now. Like I could say that I'm one degree of separation from Periphery or whatever. So I'm going to turn their success around and make it about me. But check out those two bands.
Cool,
I Prevail. Their new record, True Power. I reckon it's one of the better records of the year. Obviously, Crooked Royals album is it's probably one of the albums of the year, and Periphery are just an amazing progressive metal band.
I am such a student. I am such a student of music. I listen to music so much, and like having a radio station, you listen to even more music. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm always studying, right? This is why I always ask my guests, who are you into? Who are you into? It's like asking a really good like wine taster, like, what's your favorite latest wine? Like they're always going to give you something, right? Well,
good strategy.
The next song now, we're going to get a bit heavy. It's called Conspiracy. The terminology of a conspiracy is also known as a plot or a secret plan or agreement between persons. So my question for you is, have you been part of a conspiracy, or do you plan to?
Have I been part of a conspiracy,
or do you plan to? Yeah. Who are you trying to overthrow? My life is
a constant experience of a conspiracy of one. And I feel like sometimes on my worst days that the world is, the universe is conspiring against me. But
it's true.
They say that
it is true.
They say that it's true.
Yeah.
The universe is conspiring against me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awful. They say that a good positivity life hack is to try and believe that the universe is conspiring in your favor. So I'll work on that. So this track actually features Lee from Crooked Royals as well, which is pretty cool.
Does it?
He's such a good dude. And it was awesome to get him on track.
Now, I watched the video. There's a few tinfoil hats in the video. Did that cost much, or was there a sale?
The tinfoil hat? What we did is we took an existing hat and covered it in tinfoil. So
I reckon tinfoils are going to be like a really rare commodity in the future. I have a feeling.
Everything's running out, right?
Yeah, giraffes are running out, dude.
Yeah. What was that, sorry?
Giraffes. I learned that at the zoo the other day. Giraffes,
They're running out.
Well, they're not running out, but they're, they're dying out, right?
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I took lots of photos with my son and the giraffe. He's like, hey, so like in 40 years' time, I'd be like, that's a giraffe.
Hopefully, hopefully they don't die before I get a chance to taste the juicy giraffe steak.
No,
was that in bad taste?
Never eat the giraffe.
You don't eat the giraffe.
No,
okay.
Never eat the giraffe, Sensei. Always look at the giraffe, but never eat the giraffe.
Yeah.
I have so many questions because your music video just kind of I was like, where are you politically? You know, I was trying to place you, right? Were you mocking it? Were you saying something?
Okay.
Tell me.
So the video was definitely a fun take on it, kind of like an amalgamate of all the conspiracy theories that have kind of floated around without probably and kind of dancing around the perimeter of the major ones that are really dividing people in modern day. The song is actually about people who kind of lose themselves in a conspiracy. And actually, it was inspired by the Flat Earther documentary, which I think is I'm not sure where it is these days, but it was on Netflix for a while. And the way that these people really a lot of it, the kind of the spirit of the documentary was that these people were lonely and they were finding themselves in their community in the conspiracy and with that. But it's also kind of holding them close at the same time. Like, I see you, I see where you're at, and I don't think you're an idiot for behaving the way you are. But the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
fair. I mean, some conspiracies have turned out to be true. Some are just ridiculous, but it's definitely, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It's dividing a lot of people. And but I have heard a really great quote: "To prepare a nation for war, you must first instill in everyday life hatred, fear, racism, and divide." And conspiracy is just one of those things that you can fall into different rabbit holes. Do you think that because people? Yeah,
I was going to say you've just got a plethora of great quotes. You just have.
I love collecting quotes.
They're just in the back of your mind, or have you got a wee book?
No, some of them's in the back of my mind. I don't hold a book. I just have a brain, I guess. I love quotes. I love quotes.
Classic quote move. Just use your brain. That's really good. Yeah, that's awesome. I love quotes too. Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because I feel like throughout history people have been more articulate than I, right? So if I just regurgitate like really articulate quotes, people think I'm smart.
Well, you've fooled me, mate. I'm right there with you. I actually was writing down a bunch of quotes a while ago with the hope of turning them into lyrics. And I just ended up with a really cool note file of just some cool quotes.
Could that be like a really cool limited merch, perhaps, though? Like put it in a booklet, maybe.
JP's top 30 quotes.
JP's poems as well.
Yeah, it's like what a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
I love that.
That's out of context. The quotes are better than that. If you like that, hold on to your socks, mate, because there's some absolute banging quotes in there. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
I'll be bookmarking my Bandcamp for your limited merch, your poem book. I'd be up for that. Speaking of limited merch, shout outs to Jeff Ong. I do like to support the artists that come, and I've got like a 2 monthly budget, so I like purposefully, actively purchase people's Bandcamp Bandcamp releases. And I recently, like a week ago, purchased Jeff Ong's album called Maybe It'll Be Alright. Got the download and his CD merch. Like, it was all like handwritten with photos and stuff. It was really nice, like I felt like he was my bro, like he was.
That's pretty cool.
He was writing me a little love letter almost, like a stalker girlfriend in high school. Like, I love you, Ralphie. Here's my music. Jeff, if you're listening to this, big respect to you. It was really cool. I really love that. So maybe where I'm going at with this is, poem book. Let's do it.
Okay. I can maybe commit to some limericks.
Have you done that before though? Have you done that before though? Have you done like limited merch or like drawn something for someone as a supporter, like anything along those lines?
Someone's been trying to get me to sign some handwritten lyrics.
Yeah.
And I said I'd do it, and then like life just got the better of me for months, and then she hit me up on TikTok the other day. She's like, "What's going on?" Like,
I actually did that with one of my.
I'm going to do this.
I did that with one of my releases, right? Because as an independent musician, you have no budget. So what I ended up doing is I went to like a dollar store or something like that, and I bought like gold frames, quite tacky in itself. Put handwritten lyrics in them, And then I was like, this looks kind of tacky because it's just a gold frame from the dollar store. And so I also went to the $10 store and I bought like a desk drum kit, you know, like a toy that you play on at your desk. And then I just, that was my limited merch, you know, like I just signed it.
Yeah, very creative. Very creative.
Yeah, but the handwritten thing, some people love that.
How many hundreds of dollars did you charge for that?
Oh, no, honestly, I did a limited run of 5 and 3 of them were family members. So shout out, though, to my biggest fan, MDWH. You rock. Anyways, enough about me. This show ain't about me, mate. It's about New Zealand.
It's always a little about you, buddy.
No. Nope. This the motto of this podcast is it's about the music and it's about New Zealand musicians because there are a plethora of very talented musicians, much more like myself. That's why I've become the radio DJ because I like hearing myself but listening to other people's music, which is what's happening. We got to play your tune, my friend. Let's do it.
Very good.
And plug the gig again. Gig coming up.
December 3, Dead Witch. This is December 3, 2022. We'll see you there in 2022. Too late in 2023. It's at Dead Witch. It's us, the Sun God. We're helping them out with the show and supporting them. And Althea will also be there with their new singer. And it's going to be a great time. 8 till late. No promises, but Kev might take his shirt off. So get down early enough to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny, but you know, you have to be in it to win it. So we'll see everybody there.
I'm going to bookmark it now because I do like to actually go to people's gigs. I've done it twice now where I interview artists at their gig, and if it's worthwhile, and I'm available December 3. Let's just book that one in. But otherwise, thank you so much. And finally, before we go, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok and Spotify. And usually,
which one's the most active? Which one are you most active at?
Probably Instagram and Facebook. Okay. I kind of chill on TikTok, mainly. I'm just here for the funny videos. And then Spotify is just if you want to come and hear what we're all about. Swerve City, Arrows, all that sort of carry on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's the plug. Swerve City. We got JP Carroll there representing the crew. Shout outs to the rest of the band as well. You gents are doing a great job with the sound here. Loving the collaboration, and I look forward to hearing more from you very soon. JP, thank you again. Hopefully hear from you a third time and you're alive still. I'll just let's just block Michael, man. Let's just I've sent him a message now actually.
I've got
telling
the restraining order. The restraining order is all organised, so yeah. We can't be seen within 50 meters of each other.
Now, if you don't understand the in jokes, we'll basically get you clued up at the tail end of the show because we're going to close off the show now with Swerve City Conspiracy, and then we're going to play a Written by Wolves song. The lead singer Michael, that's who we've been talking about this whole time. Quite a cool band as well, and that will be the show.
Amazing,
yeah, great. So there we go. 2 more songs to go. You're listening to KiwiRadio.nz, and again, JP. Stay cool, stay creative. Thanks so much for being on the show today.
Okay, mate. Thanks so much for having me.
Great, and looking forward to that gig coming up December 3rd, 2022. Oh, man, I've been looking forward to this episode for a very long time. Big fan of JP Carroll. He's an absolute genius. Really great music. Thanks again, JP, for being on the show. Thanks to Crooked Royals as well. I'm your host, Ralphie.
Like the gods brought thunder through the rain. to lose when you're tearing on the same page. You wanna tweet about a flat earth on your phone, bouncing off the satellites. Can't save ourselves, never use our last breath, turning on what we know is the right. Believe in everything you read. These lies feel better than nothing at all. Like the gods brought thunder through the rain. Your mind is trying to gain control. Believe in everything you read. These lies feel better than nothing at all. Like the gods brought thunder through the rain. Your mind is trying to gain control. What you can't control.
And the last song for today is written by Wolves with a track called Secrets featuring Sonny Sandoval of POD. Really cool track. And I'm your host, Ralphie. Thanks so much for being with us this week. Same time, same channel, kiwiradio.nz, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. See you next week.
Sweating like a killer on the loose now. If the rumors are true now, I can keep a secret, but I think you better cool down. I know something that you told me, it might help you. This one's a secrecy, but I am dying to tell you. What the hell am I thinking? This is poison we're drinking. And while the ship keeps sinking, we raise up a cup, here's cheers to extinction. And the glass keeps clinking, bright lights keep blinking. Here we are on the brink, acting oblivious, just let that sink in. I know something that you told me, it might help you. This one's a secrecy, but I am dying to tell you. Everybody's got something behind it. Secrets of what you told me. You can say otherwise, but you're lying. Don't care. Know what you don't know what you don't the best secrets are the ones you don't. Something behind it. Secrets are the ones you don't keep. You can say otherwise, but you're lying. Secrets are the ones you don't. We all got secrets, so are you gonna keep it? See, this is a weakness, smile on the outside, leaving me speechless. Come on, what's wrong with you now? Sweating like a killer on the loose now. You said the rumors are true now. I can keep a secret, but I think you better cool down.
You're listening to kiwiradio.nz. I've been your host, Ralphie. Thanks for joining us in the rock special for this week. Again, go to kiwiradio.nz for MP3 replays. Listen to it on the bus, in your car, wherever you are. Just listen to it and have a great time supporting New Zealand music. Speaking of support, I want to say a huge thank you to our radio supporters, MDWH, Anarchy, MikeandTheNight.com, as well as anyone that wants to join and become a supporter. Just go to kiwiradio.nz. There's a $2 a month or 5 months. Ralphie.co.nz. Aimed at families with children aged 0 to 5, this is not a second-hand or craft market. We source one-of-a-kind and inspirational products for pregnancy, babies, young children, and also many treats for mum and dad. The focus is on new and stylish products at market prices. See you at the next Auckland Mama Market in Te Atatu, Milford, Ellerslie and Mount Albert. aucklandmamamarket.co.nz. See you everybody, bye!